Yeah. Welcome, everybody. I'm your host, Eric White Sky Cloud. And this is METIS Matters Radio on the CFRO 100.5 FM. Yes, we are here. I pulled my sash out. Just got run over by the chair. I went to push the back of the chair back, and I went like, oh, my God. And I got my sash. My METIS sash got caught under the chair. You don't want to do that. It could be hazardous for your health, folks. Especially now, I got actually a story to tell you. Many, many years ago, my mother told me there's actually this one lady. She used to wear a scarf around her neck, and she's a very famous actress. And I guess she liked to wear her scarves really, really long. And I guess one time she had her window rolled down when she was driving, and that sash was wrapped around her neck. And then as she was driving, somehow it got caught in something else. She choked herself to death just driving. Ew. You don't want to have something around your neck when you're driving with the window down.
I'm thinking of the old Mary Tyler Moore show. She had a long scarf on, didn't she? When she was walking around the streets there and threw a cap in the air.
Threw a cap in the air, yeah. Lost her memory. I lost her mind after that,
Yeah. Iconic figures.
Yeah, she's gone now, too.
Yeah.
That was J.J. LaValle, and it's Jimmy's Breakdown. It was a wonderful song as an intro today. I really enjoyed J.J., and he's going to be playing at a lot of events all across Canada. And so this man is so busy. I also want to welcome everybody in the Facebook chat room live. Big shout out to everybody because we got a lot of people from the U.S. And I actually see somebody here today. They're from Fort St. John. Big shout out to you folks. Let's see. Wow. Yeah, all the U.S., United States, Canada, all across northern BC. And folks, and I'm sure everybody knows this. I mean, we have so many crazy, and I want to say more bad words, but bad wildfires. And I want to let everybody know out there, be safe, folks, because it's really, really, really horrible. And, it's not a good thing to deal with, and it's hard on a lot of people. Oh, my God, yeah, look at this. Chat room picking up Australia. We're near down under. Hey, not bad. I wonder if there's any Métis living in Australia. I'm just curious. That'd be kind of cool. Métis in Australia. No, we don't. We say Métis. I'm sure some people don't know how to say Métis, and the way how you say it, folks, you can spell it Maytee, and it gives you like Métis, then you'll know exactly how we say it. So, I mean, I've had actually a lot of people say, how do you say Métis? It means mixed blood, folks. Mixed First Nations and European blood. That's what it is. It's wonderful to meet everybody and to have a lot of our following listeners all across the world to follow us. We got some really great events coming up. This coming weekend, I'm going to be involved with the Métis, with the BC Métis Federation, myself, the Michif. I'll be also represent the Michif Historic and Culture Preservation Society, which is the Métis Museum. And I'll be there with my lovely wife, Marina, and our good friend, Myrna, who she will be representing Eagle Child, her late husband. He used to be a silversmith, and he used to play a native flute. So they'll be in our booth this coming weekend on this coming Friday and Saturday. So it's a half a day on Friday, which starts at 4 or 5 o'clock, and on a Friday this weekend, and which is August 31st, and then September the 1st, all day. We're there all day. We're under the Métis Pavilion, and you'll see it. You can't miss it. It says Métis Pavilion, and come on in, come and join us, come and see us, say hi. We got some great giveaways as well if you folks want to come down and see us. The BC Métis Federation will also be sharing some information for you coming up pretty soon. We got a lot of great things happening. I've got some promos I want to share with you folks. We got some great, some neat things that may not have talked about before, but we have a T-shirt here. Now in our studio, and some of you may not see it in the studio, but some of you may be able to see it. We got a T-shirt here, and on the front it says the BC Métis Federation, right? But on the back of it, it says, keeping it real. Okay, so this T-shirt here is available. If you guys are interested in, we got these T-shirts for sale for $15, and they'll be actually available at the Fusion Festival, at the Richmond World Festival. Now, those who may not know where it is, the Richmond World Festival will be at Minaroo Park. So it's a big, huge park, and I want to give a big shout out to our wonderful, who she informed me that she's Métis herself, Sydney, who also is one of our students that has been working here wonderfully through the summer, and she's been working here at CFRO, and she's upstairs right now doing her thing, busy doing her work. But big shout out to her, and I'm thanking her for her wonderful support and her volunteering to work with us and working with me, because basically both her and some of her student friends came out to the recent Fusion Festival in Surrey, and they participated, and she said she had a lot of fun, which is great. It's nice to have our youth out there, and I was just we're trying our darndest to get the youth involved. This is something I'm always looking forward to. What else we got? Coming up, besides that, we also have some more promos. And we got a CD here, and it's actually the Pekiskwi Michif number 3, which basically is the how to learn how to speak Michif. Now, this is the third CD available, and actually it was made by the Cowichan Valley Métis Nation. And these CDs are available if you want to learn how to speak the Michif language. It looks kind of funny when it looks backwards online. But if you want to order these CDs, we do have these available. And they'll be available at the Richmond event. Or you can actually email me, the Métis Matters Radio at gmail.com if you want to place an order. Or you can come down to the studio here at Co-op Radio and say, Derek, I want to get you can just leave a message and say, I want to get a CD. And we'll have one ready for you. So we're looking forward to have that. Now, George and Terry Goulet have been around for a long, long time. They're great writers and historians. These folks, George and Terry, George he has a lot of history and a lot of Métis history with Riel and them and the family, and we have books here that we are bringing more of these out. This is called the Métis Memorable Events and Memorable Personalities. These will be for sale for $20, and if you're actually interested in coming down, come and get these books. The book itself, it provides an insightful picture into the history and heritage and culture of the Métis people. It brings to life many of their fabulous feats and magnetic personalities. And it describes the term Métis, the genesis of the Métis Nation. Now, Métis symbols and their origins and their lifestyle of the Métis people. The Battle of Seven Oaks, the Sinclair Expedition, the Buffalo Hunt, the Red River Resistance, and the Northwest Uprising, and other memorable events such as constitutional recognition and memorable personalities including Louis Riel, Gabriel Dumont, Cuthbert Grant, and Harry Daniels. The Métis memorable events and personalities provide a colorful, enlightening history of the Métis people, and is a book written by the Métis to provide an accurate, well-researched account of who the Métis people are and some of the memorable events and some of the memorable personalities in their unique history. Now, George Goulet, who is also the best-selling author of the book and the Trial of Louis Riel, Justice and Mercy Denied, and is also the author of the legal text, Public Share Offerings and Stock Exchange Listings in Canada. Now, he was born in St. Boniface, and in Manitoba, and is registered member of the Métis Nation of Alberta. And George holds a Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Laws degrees from the University of Manitoba and a Master of Laws degree from the University of Toronto. Now, he practiced law for 35 years in Winnipeg, Vancouver, and Calgary. And also, Pierre Delorme, George's great-grandfather, was in Louis Riel's provisional government and is profiled in this book. Also profiled is George's great-uncle, the Métis martyr, Alzire Goulet. Also, Terry Goulet was born in Calgary, which is his wife, and Alberta, and graduated from the University of Manitoba with a bachelor's and HEC. During her eclectic career, she was a a paralegal, and a freelance indexer of corporate and securities law reporters for an international legal publishing firm. And she was the chief researcher for the book The Trial of Louis Riel, Justice and Mercy Denied. Now, Terry and George have co-authored other books and have spoken numerous times across Canada on the Métis people. So this book itself is called The Métis: Memorable Moments, or Memorable Events and Memorable Personalities. It's a wonderful book to read. We've been promoting these books for myself. I've been promoting these books for quite a while, and there are some books that they have written that they have not republished since. I don't know why. Maybe this is too costly. I'm not sure. But there are some that. But these are the ones, and also they also wrote the other books, the Métis of British Columbia. So those are two major books that I've actually been promoting as much as possible. But if you folks actually are interested in wanting to find these books, it's wonderful to read. And then it's, if you want to do some historical follow-ups, it's really wonderful to have. Again, those books are $20. And again, if you want to find us, we actually will have our Métis Pavilion set up. Lots of things to do. Now, I have a cassette that I had found. This is a good friend of mine that I have. We lost her through cancer back in the 1990s, late 1990s. And she sang a song called Restless Heart. She's a Métis singer, entertainer. Sadly, we lost her too soon because I think she was in her 40s at least before she left this world. And this lady's name was Patty Mayo. I'm sure a lot of you used to remember her and see her sing and write a lot of her music. Some of her, she actually, there was never CDs made back then. This is only cassettes. And I thought it'd be kind of nice to play one of her songs. And the one that she was well known for is called Restless Heart. So here she is, Patty Mayo, Restless Heart.
I could see
that was Patty Mayo, and she, and like I said, people have talked about her for the longest time, and she had a wonderful voice. Sadly, we had lost her through cancer back in the 1990s. Actually, there's a lot of people that showed up to her ceremony and her funeral memorial, and that they held it in the Legion. Must have been, there was hundreds and hundreds of people that showed up for her. It was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And even Ken Fisher was there too. He was there to honor her because he thought she was a cool young lady. So now we got a bit of a story here that I've always wanted to share with everybody because I think this is the one that I had talked about. Want to talk about because I think it's important for everybody here. I think this is the right one. Or am I wrong? Let's see if this is the right one. I've been actually doing some research on Métis history, and I think it's really important to share that. Yes. Before I forget that. Coming up, FRAFCA. Some of you may not know who it is. FRAFCA is actually the Friendship Center in Surrey. It's they've been helping a lot of young people and children. I was actually at their AGM last week, and they've done so much to bring back. They help the kids and help the elders and help the youth. The children as well. They're putting a lot of elders programs on in Surrey. To update you what's going on, I wasn't around the center for I would say probably a good year, and I just been so busy myself. But I've been trying to find out what Surrey's been doing because we have a lot of things happening in Vancouver. In the region, and they have Langley, which I'm with the Lower Fraser Valley Aboriginal Society, and I'm actually one of the board members there as a director. But also, we have so many programs happening everywhere across BC, but I never talk about or have ever heard what's going on in Surrey. Because the Surrey Friendship Center had a little bit of a falling out with the community for the longest time. And I would say for at least a couple of years. And they were trying to, I guess the new group of people are coming in, they've cleaned up all the negatives that are in it to make it more positive, because they kept on saying what's important is community. And what they have done now, and with FRAFCA, I'm actually, this is kind of funny. Back in 2005, I used to work for Métis Family Services. I was a counselor with them. And so the center has been around for a long, long, long time, but after a year of contract with them, and I thought I'd be renewing the contract. For some reason, something happened. They had a falling out with me, and never heard from them since. And I guess whomever the people were that were heads of did not want to mention my name. Anybody ever mentioned my name, say, how come Derek's not back here again to help? And then they kept saying, don't mention his name. Couldn't figure out what it was. And I found out later what it was. It has nothing to do with me, but somebody made up a story. It wasn't true. I got a public apology from them and a letter apology. But funny thing, FRAFCA, I guess either Métis Family Services, moved out. They moved out of the building and they went elsewhere. And which was this past year, and FRAFCA moved in. So now they have two centers. It's kind of funny because I went to the AGM, and it felt so strange going back after, I guess you'd say, 13 years, back in the same building to walk around in there, and they said to me, "Oh, we'll show you around." I said, "I've been here before." "Oh, have you? When?" "Well, I used to work here years ago." And they said, "We didn't know that." I said, "Yeah, I used to work here before." And but isn't that kind of strange? You think about it, folks. A company, or whether it's an organization or a company that you used to work for, and then many years goes by, and then you're asked to come back and there's probably a whole new group of people being there. But you walk in and you think, ooh, memories. Whether they're good or bad, you think, oh, now how do I deal with this? But when I walked in there, the energy was really good. It was very positive. So I having to meet a lot of good friends, people that I know, a lot of positive feedback when they have their AGM. And it was wonderful that they actually sent me a letter in the mail asking me if I can vote, be a voter and be part of it. So it was wonderful to be part of that. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to spend some time with the elders and start interviewing them and have them coming on the show on Métis Matters Radio. Because we do have a lot of Métis elders and Métis people that are actually working in the offices that are doing community work. And I want to get them involved. So I'm looking forward to have that. And to see, have them share their stories and what they've been doing for the community, and Métis community, because I find it's very important that we need to get out there, just as much as no matter which person you call yourself Indigenous, we need to help our Métis community as well, and there's not many of those around, and so I'm looking forward to getting more involved. So I decided to maybe go down there on a elders dinner or an elders lunch, let's say, and take my recorder and interview them and share their stories. If they can't come to the studio, then I just bring their voices to the studio and share it with you folks, the listeners, and see what's going on. It's wonderful to do that. But what they're doing right now, they're holding an event November the 10th for Africa, and it's called Guiding Youth Home, and it's the third annual fundraising gala. Many youth struggle with transition into adulthood on their own, and currently there are very few options for them to receive the help they need. Providing a supportive home space and services can be life-changing. Together we can make this goal a reality. Tickets are $60 for single, and a table of 8 is $400. Buy your tickets at the Everbright at Guiding Your Home, or you can write a check to the Fraser Region Aboriginal Friendship Center Association. If you want to contact them, you want to get a hold of Kayla, and phone number is 604-996-9602. That's 604-996-9602. That's Kayla. And they'll be on location where they're holding this is 12350 Petula Place. It's actually at the area Banquet Hall and Convention Center. But if you want to know more about it, you can actually give them a call, or you can always email me again, métismattersradio@gmail.com, and I can send you the flyer in the email, and you can, if you want to get more involved in the community, it's wonderful to do. Now, I'm going to actually play another song, and our good friend, this young lady actually has been traveling a lot up east, and she's been doing a lot of performances on stage, and her name is Andrea Menard. And so I'm going to be doing is play one of her songs that I really do enjoy this one, because it really defines what a Métis, how a Métis person's like, and what they're like when they grew up, and and it's I think it's wonderful. So here we go. Her name is Andrea Menard, and the song is Métis Hands.
Voyageurs first came, ils n'attendaient pas d'être pères. Avant nous nation sur une vieille terre, ils travaillaient si fort, ils étaient si fiers of their newfound family, dont je suis sœur, tu es frère. Look in these Métis eyes, hold these Métis hands. We're all held together by love, by this land. We are family. We're all family. When the winds of change were upon them, The ladies brace the wind. They opened up their hearts and homes and took the strangers in. Elles prévoyaient l'avenir. They saw their babies' eyes, burnt wood faces under prairie skies. Look in these Métis eyes, hold these Métis hands. We're all held together by love, by this land. We are family. We're all family. Écoutez mes enfants, l'histoire vous appartient. C'est écrit dans la ceinture fléchée, c'est écrit dans vos mains. Children, listen. The future's in your hands. Weave together our story, strand by strand. Look in these Métis eyes, hold these Métis hands. We're all held together by love, by this land. We are family. We're all family. Nous sommes famille.
Join me, Derek White Sky Cloud. I am your host every Wednesday night from 5 to 6 p.m. for Métis Matters Radio, where we discuss why Métis matters and the worldwide matters of Métis people. From the past to the present, every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. on Vancouver's Co-op Radio, CFRO 100.5 FM.
Co-op Radio is excited to welcome our new morning show, Indigenous News, every Wednesday and Friday from 7 to 8 a.m. Featuring the warrior woman of radio, Gunarji O'Sullivan, as host, contemporary Indigenous issues will be brought to the spotlight. Wednesday, 7 to 8 a.m. Democracy Now! Will be airing on Thursday from 6 to 7 a.m. and Friday, 7 to 8 a.m. Democracy Now! Will be airing on Monday from 6 to 7 a.m. This July, get ready for Indigenous News on CFRO 100.5 FM, Co-op Radio.
Yes, folks, we're back. And this is Métis Matters Radio. I'm your host, Derek White Sky Cloud. I hope you like my new commercial. I actually had this wonderful young lady make it for me.
We call them promos, not commercials.
Well, I like a commercial. I'm a commercial person.
It's politically incorrect to call them commercials here.
I'm a promo.
Promo. Show promo.
Show promo.
Yeah.
Yeah, promo me. Yeah, promo me. That's what you can say. Ding, promo me.
It just promoted you.
They didn't agree. Ting. Okay. Now, we've got also want to talk about the BC Métis Federation. And in 2018, the province of British Columbia and the BC Métis Federation collaborated on a knowledge partnership project, which is called KPP. The results of this project were important in that we learned there are common threads and great diversity amongst and between Métis people and communities throughout the British Columbia regarding identity and governance. Now, this was truly a first step towards creating a shared understanding of the diversity of Métis communities in British Columbia. Was a positive step forward reconciliation. Now, the reconciliation is a term today that has been a major focus of federal and provincial governments, and the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada has provided recommendations for reconciliation with Indigenous communities. However, The recommendations require interpretation in terms of tangible plans or frameworks in place to enact these recommendations. Garnering information and knowledge about what reconciliation means for the BC Métis Federation means is critical to a building a positive, inclusive, and mutually beneficial relationship between all Métis people and the government of British Columbia. Now, research that grounds reconciliation efforts and strategies in local Métis experience is critical to ensuring future success. The BC Métis Federation recognizes that the road to reconciliation with the province of British Columbia also recognizes current commitments made by the province of British Columbia on November the 16th, which is 2016, the Métis Nation Relationship Accord, which is the Métis Accord, and then it's number 2, renewed objectives for all Métis people in BC 2, continue to strengthen existing relationships based on mutual rapport, responsibility, and sharing. Now, also including continue to improve engagement, coordination, information sharing, and collaboration. Also, continue to work together towards meeting the commitments of the First Ministers meeting on the Aboriginal issues as they pertain to Métis people and their aspirations to close the gaps on quality of life between Métis people and other British Columbians. Now, the Métis Accord objectives relate to the following subjects matters, which bases on children, families, education, lifelong learning and training, economic opportunities, including procurement opportunities with the Crown corporations. Health is absolutely important, community, family, and individuality. Housing, information sharing, justice, Métis identification and data collection, and wildlife stewardship. Now, the BC Métis Federation agrees with the objectives and the subject matter as important areas to include to achieve reconciliation for our members. Now, you can actually fill out this form, folks. You can actually go online to the BC Métis Federation's page, and you can fill out the survey. And if you want to contact them, if you have any questions you want to ask, you can contact Sherry from the BC Métis Federation, and they can share with you what's happening. Now, these Phase 1 designation reconciliation questionnaires in conjunction with the province of British Columbia. The dates are available. They start off, the new update will be Victoria, which is September the 8th. In Surrey will be September the 15th. Clearwater, October the 6th. That's on my birthday. And Kelowna will be September 21st. You can go to these meetings and find these questionnaires and meet up in that location. This is where the BC Métis Federation will be located. But if you want to learn more about the information, please contact the BC Métis Federation, and you can ask for Sherry. It'd be worth your while to chat with them. And the thing is that the crazy thing is that a lot of First Nations Indigenous people have always had truth and reconciliation, but we've never had truth and reconciliation with the Métis. Because even a lot of our Métis people also went to residential schools and also were the 60 Scoop children. So there were so many things that did happen through back in time that, we also were included. We're inclusive. So this is something that we're all working on. This is why the BC Métis Federation is involved. Okay? Now, let's see what we got here. I'm going to throw another song in. We're going to have some fun. Let's see what we're going to do. Let's see. Where is she, that girl? I can't find her. As I'm looking. Okay, I saw her. I'm looking for things that are Métis, folks. This is a Métis thing. I know what to do. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to give him, in the CD, okay, it's already in there. We're going to get another J.J. LaValle, number 4. And this is J.J. LaValle again. And the reason why I'm actually promoting J.J. this week, because this guy is so busy this week. We're giving him a lot of push. And this is number 4. Actually, basically, it's called Maple Sugar. Some of you may not have heard that spoons in the background, but those actually will see it through the review of my Facebook Live. You'll get to see it. I was actually playing my spoons here in the studio with the song, so I'm good at that. I used to play spoons when I was a kid. Now, these are the wooden spoons, but the ones that I normally used to play was the metal spoons, like, your regular kitchen spoons. My mom, my dad, my sister, we would listen to fiddle music, and oh God, our parents, our family, and everybody played spoons. We all had a great time. We're spoons, and it's just because we loved our music. That's the way it was. You want to sit there and you chair dance all day. Yeah, what can I say? We're all having fun. Now, I actually had read a column in the newspaper, and this actually is from the Vancouver Sun, I believe. And the guy's name is Rick Peterson. I'm not impressed with this fellow. He voices an opinion about people that are protesters, and he is an editor, and he also, Harvey Ensign was actually one of the supporters in this. Now, I'll tell you why I'm not impressed with this guy. He actually placed a comment of lies, complete amount of lies about Camp Cloud. And let's talk about the pipeline, for example, folks. I know what Camp Cloud does. I know where Camp Cloud was, and how many people really fought to protect the land and the water. And Rick Peterson had the gall and audacity, who supposedly, he's from the Suits and Boots, and from Calgary. He comes in, hired by Kinder Morgan, to basically make up stories, lies. And part of that lie, he said there was a lot of alcohol and a lot of bottles, liquor bottles hanging out in the Camp Cloud. There never was, ever. Our people don't drink. They don't drink they never did drink on the mountain. But apparently some people planted some bottles there in late at night who did not know what was going on. They woke up and these bottles were there. If they were placed there, none of our people there, they all, and everyone can actually vouch for each other. There was not one drinker on the mountain. And if there was, that person did not belong there. So, they're trying to label our people as being, no jobs, homeless, that sort of thing. They're saying, homeless people living on the mountain. They didn't. There was no homeless people living on the mountain. Everybody had a job. But some people took the summer off, right? So here's the story. Here's what Rick Peterson had said, the big reveal at Camp Cloud. This is his words, not mine. This is his words. By the time the RCMP moved in to evict protesters from illegal structures they had erected near Kinder Morgan's Burnaby facilities, the aggressive protesters who dominated the media and roughed up reporters had already moved on to the next demonstration, leaving only confused, probably homeless people who had been recruited to the cause, wondering what to do, says Rick Peterson. Last week's RCMP eviction of the Camp Cloud campers in Burnaby had surprising revelation. When the dust cleared, what we discovered was merely a cluster of confused, bedraggled, disoriented Camp Cloud residents wondering where to go next. Well, of course, number one, I'm going to say this right now, this is my comment, which means the RCMP invaded the place while they're asleep, okay? Bedraggled, and wonder why. It's clear that many of those arrested and evicted were very likely homeless, and they need help, no doubt about it. Nobody needed help. Here's hoping BC's social services can offer it to them. They were vulnerable, needed a place to live and belong, and were easy to recruit to the cause. But when push came to shove, they were cut loose and abandoned by the people who sold them a bill of goods and left them standing alone to do the dirty work. When the rule of law came calling. That's the big reveal of Camp Cloud. Where were the angry, aggressive Camp Cloud leaders? The same people who roughed up Suits and Boots volunteers 2 weeks ago. Well, number one, those guys were already arrested and put in jail. So what do you mean, where are they? Ha ha ha. They were nowhere to be seen. The very few people who drew vulnerable people into the circle of shacks and lean-tos, never was lean-tos, by the way, had long since flown the coop. Once posted a rambling video of wild claims about the event from the kitchen of a nice house, apparently her home, The others, who knows, likely moving on to the next protest scene. These are the same people who show up at the other protest sites, especially fish farms. It has been well documented they are funded by foreign interests, often people who have a financial stake in competing industries like the U.S. oil, gas, and the owners of the wild fishing fleets. They're not in for the ideals, but to hamper Canadian competitors. Misinformation is their currency. Too often they stand unopposed because the people in the industries they are going after are too busy working at their jobs or volunteering in their community to get out and protest. As a result, what gets lost in the media coverage is the importance of the other side. Just how critical Canada's responsible resource industries are to our nation. Simply put, Canada's economy is based on resource use. Now, without it, our society collapses. Canada's resource companies pay a lot of taxes, as they should. Those taxes pay for healthcare, education, and other social services we all, including Camp Cloud, campers rely on. Now, also, we do it right and with strict environmental and social regulations protecting our land, waters, and workers alike. Our industries deliver the metals electric cars are built from. The oil and gas we will burn in our cars and homes. Our industries also deliver innovation, new green technologies that will be our future. Protesters don't deliver innovation and jobs or taxes that pay for their social services. However, our industries are hampered every day by protesters and their foreign backers. Western Canada lacks pipeline capacity to get our oil to the world market, so Alberta's oil companies are forced to sell at a deep discount to refineries in the U.S. Midwest, giving up $40 million in lost revenue every day. That's money lost to Canada's economy and gifted to the U.S. That is a lot of lost taxes and lost jobs. Other countries around the world are still getting oil, but from places like Russia and Saudi Arabia rather than Canada. Places without our strong social and environmental standards, working people of this province have finally had enough anti-resource propaganda and misinformation. We can't let that story get lost in the focus of protesters and the spin from their radical foreign funded leaders who recruit homeless people to do their dirty work. It is time for moderate Canadians to stand up and say that's enough and push back, not with violence and misinformation, but with fact and passion for our nation. Rick Peterson is the founder of Suits and Boots, and he's a not-for-profit investment industry professionals who support Canada's resource sector. Well, number one, Mr. Peterson, you're a lying sack of crap as far as I'm concerned, because number one, I know all these people in Camp Cloud, and not one person is what you think they are, and they're not violent people. They get irritated because you ask stupid questions. I mean, I'm talking about stupid misinformation questions. You go in there and you start up crap. Then you videotape it, and whatever you don't want seen, you cut it out and you add in whatever you want to add in. They get mad at you because you call them racial names. You did. They told me themselves. Okay? You're known, and number one, you're lying, number one. Non-for-profit investment, Kinder Morgan's paying you because everybody said you were. So they sent you up there to cause all this trouble. Nobody here is homeless. Nobody here has no money. Everybody has money. Everybody has an income. They earn an income. They all have a job. It's been proven. 80% of Indigenous people all have jobs and are not drug users nor alcoholics. It's the non-Native community now. There are more alcoholism involved than there is our people. We have been taking care of ourselves for many more years now. We're not screwed up. You are. Okay? Now, a good friend of mine wrote this reply, and she says, it's impressive how much important ignorance Rick Peterson, founder of Suits and Boots, has managed to fit into a few paragraphs of opinion. Opinion because no stretch of English language could one call these words fact. It's quite clear that Rick has either no knowledge of who the supporters of the Camp Cloud are, or he does, but chooses to lie about the facts. Now, number one, Camp Cloud, their supporters are people like you and me. We donate to help keep the building going. We donate to help keep them food so they can keep on going, to keep the sacred fire going, okay? Anyone with cursory knowledge of Camp Cloud knows that most of what Rick states is false. Rick speaks of the bias of Camp Cloud and people motivated by and sacrificing for environmental and indigenous issues, yet he has a direct stake in the oil industry. That is, his rhetoric is fueled by financial gain and the threat that environmentalism poses to it. How a media outlet could post such poorly written opinion piece is mind-boggling. Donna Olekyuk received this email reply to the email she sent to the Vancouver Sun last week. She found it incredibly disturbing. This is what the Vancouver Sun, okay, Harvey Etchen, who is the editor, he says, "Hello, I personally reviewed Rick Peterson's excellent opinion piece on the dismantling of the so-called Camp Cloud, which the statements he made are accurate. Yours are not. There is personal testimony and video from journalists who were physically assaulted by protesters. Media and Kinder Morgan employees were threatened and intimidated. Many of us in the media recognize the spokespeople of the protesters and have seen them at other demonstrations for other causes. We know who they are, and they are professional protesters. These are the ones who mysteriously disappeared before the RCMP moved in. The foreign funding of the environmental protest groups and the First Nations leaders is well documented and has been widely reported. And it is surprising that you do not know this. Researcher Vivian Cross has unearthed a mountain of evidence showing that flow of funds from the U.S. foundations and the Canadian groups to block pipelines and disrupt salmon farming operations. The funders know that what they are doing. They want to landlock Canadian oil to preserve the discount of the U.S. Enjoys while it expands its own fracked oil and gas industry that with nary and peep of protest from people like you. Your assertion that these groups are hard-pressed for funds is laughable. I know because I receive commentary from them about your activities, their lobbying efforts, their participation at international events, and their expensive legal actions. Some of their staff are very well paid. Some pretend to teach at university while spending most of the time attending to their advocacy. The salmon farm protests, by the way, serve to protect the salmon industry in Alaska from Canadian competition. Not only in Canada is Canada dependent on resources to maintain its economy and civil society, most other countries rely on fossil fuels to keep their population alive. While this is slowly changing, people who know what they are talking about expect our dependence on fossil fuels to last another 50 years at the minimum. And these fuels are most likely to be replaced by clean, safe nuclear power. The intermittent power from wind and solar can only be the auxiliary for firm power from hydro and nuclear. The bedraggled people left standing at Camp Cloud clearly had no jobs and nowhere to go. We saw that on the video as well. This disturbs me whenever even a freaking editor wrote this. In short, everything in your note is ill-informed or untrue. And if I were to write an editorial on this subject, it would be to collaborate Mr. Peterson's observations about the foolish illegal demonstration on Burnaby Mountain and the manipulative leaders who organized it and then abandoned the volunteer people they recruited for cause. Let me tell you something, okay? You know, why does a Vancouver Sun editor have something to do with this? I mean, really, he has no say. I'm sorry. You shouldn't be talking about this. You should be leaving it as it is. Okay, so anyways, there's more to talk about, folks, but we're almost coming to an end, and I think I want to basically share one more song, but there's more to say, and I'm going to share that with you folks for next week. So we're going to go with another song. And that is Métis Girl, and that's Farrah Palmer. And enjoy this one, folks. This is a good song. 100.5 FM, CFRO.
bet you wouldn't know it, but she is an Indian. Her dad is European and her mom is Cree, and she can tell you all about her native ancestry. And although she's native, no one sees. They ridicule and call her half-breed. But she's a Métis girl, a strong proud Métis girl, and she is beautiful, yes, beautiful. She's a Métis girl with bloodlines from two worlds, and she is beautiful, that light-skinned Métis girl. Now that Métis girl used to have sad eyes. She was haunted by rejection, she was criticized. Then one day an elder came along and gave her a gift. She acknowledged her and told her this: you're a Métis